Hey, what is up everyone? Crew Danny. In this second segment of Muay Thai fundamental techniques, let's cover the elbows. All right, so I'm going to show you the basic elbows, how to do them properly. So check it out. All right, so in our previous video, we looked at the basic punches, the jab, cross, the hook, as well as the uppercuts, right? Those are just some of the basic punches. There's a few more punches, but now today, I want to look at the elbow techniques, all right? So from the right elbow to the left elbow. So once again, get into your stance. We covered this in the previous video. Now, we're going to start with the first elbow, which is called the horizontal elbow, also known as a straight elbow. Okay, so this one here, I'm going to imagine there's a straight line just in front. And now I'm going to go and point that elbow horizontally in front of me. Now notice how you bring your hands towards you when you throw elbows, all right? So in this case, I don't want my hand in front as such. I want to expose the tip of the elbow, so I need to bring my hand towards my chest. So look, one, and then it goes across, and the same rotation as punches is going to occur, all right? So here, boom. Now, to throw effective elbows, you need to stay loose, all right? A lot of times, common mistake is people will get very stiff and like try to push the elbow like a straight punch. We want to stay super loose, super relaxed. So relax your shoulders, your traps, all right, your upper body. And now think of just whipping the elbow out. Think of the elbow target that you're going to use is the point, the tip of your elbow, as well as this part right here of your forearm. You don't want to hit with the middle of your forearm or the wrist, right, of course. So now the elbows, I like to always teach that there's two methods. Number one is the power elbow. We're kind of like pushing it in almost like a punch, but there's also the slicing elbow, which is more common. The elbows are mainly used to slice up, right? So if you look at Muay Thai fights in Thailand, they use elbows and then they cut the skin. So sometimes it'll just cut open or the eyebrow or the cheeks, and then they'll stop the fight, right? Now, if this was a self-defense situation, like a street fight, for example, I would always teach to use your elbows more than the hands. Why? Because now we're not wearing hand wraps and we don't have gloves to protect our hands, right? So if you hit someone on the skull with your fist, there's a chance you're gonna break the bones in your hand, right? But if you hit them using your elbows, this is a very, very hard target, right? There's gonna be less chances of you injuring yourself if you need to attack someone in a self-defense or street fight scenario. Now, once again, the horizontal elbow, rotation of your lower body, and the point of the elbow points in as you bring your hand. Now from the side, it'll look like this. Now one more detail. Always bring the opposite hand high, actually higher than when you use punches, simply because, keep in mind, I always teach this, is if you're in range to hit with an elbow, that also means you're in the same range to receive an elbow from your opponent. So you want to have your guard up on the opposite side, right? So guard doesn't mean using your hands, because you never use your fingers or your fist to block an elbow. You want to use the same thing as your target. So if you're hitting with the rigid part of your forearm, you also want to be blocking with that same rigid part of your forearm to check an elbow, all right? So the opposite hand will really raise up as such. So a lot of times what we do is just bring our palm to or even above our forehead. So here, and stay loose, right? So if the target is here, don't just hit and snap it back. Slice through the target. So if the target is right here, boom, bring it an inch or two past that target. So straight elbow here, boom, horizontal. From the side, boom, stay loose, boom, rotate, snap it in, boom. And we also have the lead horizontal elbow, which will be the same thing. Now, it won't have as much power, but it's still a very snappy and quick tool. So here, right hand will stay high, and this one will hit, all right? So that's the lead horizontal elbow. Same thing, bring your hand to your chest and only expose the tip of the elbow, all right? So here, shoom, stay loose, shoom, from the side, shoom, 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 all right? And then you could start combining right to left, shoom, 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 right to left, shoom, shoom, and play around with those elbows. That's the first set of elbows, horizontal elbows. Now we're going to look at the second type of elbow, the uppercut elbows. Now there's two variations of this, traditional and also diagonal, all right? So straight up is the first elbow. It's called uppercut elbow. So imagine that if the opponent is as such, you want to bring the line of your elbow right between the arms and underneath the chin, on the nose, in the forehead, all right? So here, boom, straight up. So just like when you push a punch, you want to drive the elbow up using your shoulder and your hip. All right, so Uppercut elbow, open the hands, and slice it up down the middle. Uppercut elbow from the side, here, and stay loose, just like the horizontal elbow. Uppercut elbow, not just about power, also about snappiness, right? Slicing the elbow up. Here, so the opponent would be right here. When you throw elbows, you're in a closer range. You're not in the punching range. Maybe uppercuts or whatnot, but a lot of times Thai fighters, instead, if we're in the same range of shooting a short hook or a short uppercut, why not use the elbow, right? A lot more damaging effects. So here, I can shoot a boxing glove or shoot a straight up elbow, which are a lot more damaging, right? So here, from the close distance. And of course, we have it with the lead elbow as well. So lead uppercut elbow, again, everything from the lead side won't have as much power because you don't have the same torque because it's already in the front. But you want to use that shoulder to drive it up. That's the uppercut elbow. Now the second variation of doing the uppercut elbow, sometimes we'll do it diagonally. So here, instead of coming straight up, I might drive it to the side, right? So I'm going diagonally like this. Some fighters like to do this elbow as well. That's another variation. Snap it up. Snap it up. From the side with the lead one, same thing. Snap it up. So we're going in this direction right here, shooting it diagonally up. And from the rear. And look at your target, keep your hands up, and always remember, if you're in the zone to throw elbows, you're in the same zone to receive them. So imagine that on the opposite side, someone's attacking you with the same elbows, so you need to cover. Okay, next up, we're gonna look at the cut down elbow, also known as the slicing down or downwards elbow. All right, a lot of times what we're gonna do is if the opponent has his guard up and you shoot out a straight elbow, well, the elbow's gonna land on the forearm. So what we're gonna do now is just raise the elbow up slightly and then go diagonally downwards. See? So it's gonna go over the glove and boom, hit either just where the eyebrows, on the temple, cut the forehead, on the cheeks, or even nose or chin. Okay, so here, boom, cut down elbow. So slow motion, you raise your elbow up, and now you go downwards and just over the guard and slice it down, right? Again, with the same rotation, the shoulder pulls the hip, hip will pull the foot. So here, that's the cut down, right? Downward elbow here, one. So imagine you're coming upwards and just landing it with the tip of your elbow down, okay? So from the side, slow motion, up, and rotate downwards, guard is up, shoulder is up, and then you bring it back into your stance, okay? And of course, we can also use that with the lead side. So here, lead downward elbow, same rotation, here, all right? So here, that's your down elbow. Up, boom, over the guard, over that hand, boom. So there you have it. Those are the basic elbows in Muay Thai, all right? So if you look at it, there's 3 elbows we covered on both sides. That's 6 elbows. So I like to refer to them as the basic 6. These are the 3 first elbows I like to teach all of my Muay Thai students. Now, once you have this, you want to be flowing and practicing the elbows. As a matter of fact, I like to use elbows to warm up when I do shadow boxing. So sometimes during the first few minutes of my shadow in Muay Thai training, I'll only use the elbows. Why? Because it really helps to warm up your shoulders and stay loose, right? Because when you throw elbows, you want to stay very loose. So for example, just go through all of those angles. So for example, you looked at the horizontal lines, we looked at diagonal down, which is the downward, and also diagonal up, or sometimes straight up, vertical. All right, so now you play with those elbows, right? So we have horizontal here, up here on an angle, or straight up, and then we have down. And then from the lead side, horizontal here, downward, or I should say upward, and then downward here. All right, and then you play with those angles, right? You got straight, up, down, straight, up, and down. And then you just repeat that. And this is gonna help warm up your shoulders because the rotator cuff is really firing on all cylinders when you train elbows and you're staying loose. Sometimes we use these shoulder rotations, great to warm up. But when you use your elbows, you're warming up your elbows and your upper body, your trunk, your spine's getting warmed up, your twisting motions. And then when you shadow box, you start to speed things up. And then you can create some combinations with those 6 elbows, right? So you can go up, rebound to here, boom, come back here, boom, boom. And of course, there's more elbows than this. These are the basic ones. We have the pike or the 12 to 6 elbow where we go downwards. If someone shot in on you, it was a real fight. Down elbows, we have flying elbows. We also have the spin elbows where we turn. There's many different types of elbows, but today I wanted to cover the basic ones for people who are starting out in Thai boxing. All right, everyone, there you have it. The basic 6. 6 basic elbows you can use in your Muay Thai training. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Leave us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next Muay Thai video. Take care.